Trojan, and welcome back to Gaming Hexa in what is now episode 7 of our Star System Survival. Where we left off last episode, we're just putting the lights up, we're prettying up the place a bit. I'm quite pleased with how this is coming on so far, but as I said, there's still little bitty bits that need to be done, like I want to put the doors on and stuff like that, and I'm going to try not to bore you so much, as being the last episode was a bit lengthy and mostly construction and stuff like that, so I try my best to skip through it for this one. One thing I do want to get done is I want to have maybe getting the inventory system up and running, where I might have maybe a collection of cargo containers along here, possibly, and each associated with a particular components or items that I might want to be using, just so I know where to get the appropriate items from, and maybe get the doors on and stuff like that, and then start thinking about what other utilities I'm going to need ship-wise. I was thinking maybe some kind of a mining drone. It's going to have to be a ship drone of some type, because I just haven't got my head around how to properly get a wheeled vehicle to do any sort of decent mining task, unless it's strip mining the surface, which isn't really what I want. Maybe also some kind of protection as well with regards to a ship, maybe a ship or a drone that can be controlled from the safety of inside here, to scout the area and to scout longer distances in particular, which means I'll need an aerial as well. So before I do all that, what I'm going to have to do is get into my assembler, figure out why it keeps stopping its disassembling task. The Gatling gun ran out of magnesium, and off camera I'll obviously be getting some more uranium and magnesium and iron and stuff like that, and maybe even try and tap into that silicon vein. But that's one of the main reasons I want to get the get the mining drone up and running, so I can just easily fly about and sort of mine larger quantities quicker. Would be nice. More solar panels. Just making sure I am putting them in the assembler. So lads, I'm going to do this, and I'll be back in a moment when I've disassembled back these things into their constituent parts. Just off to go and grab myself some, make sure I'm in the right thing, some uranium and stuff, because I should really be keeping an eye on my resources, and I haven't really been, until I have the inventory manager up and running. I won't be able to sort of automate that system of making things as and when I need them. Thought I'd steal Gravity's ship here for a moment, I'm sure he won't mind. Just because it has a nice cargo hold on it, which will allow me to... Has it got a landing gear? It does indeed. Try my best not to accidentally die by falling 12 inches. So here's where the magnesium was.
Inventory full.
And I should be able to branch off as well to get that. Where was it? The silicon, which is... Where are you? Ice, magnesium. On this area, so that's good. It's in the other direction. That's good. So I can just 25 meters in that direction. Just have to not get turned around. We have a little tunnel system going on. You can imagine when we finally get off the planet's surface and we either get to the moon or to Mars, or maybe even straight to that alien planet, depending on how well prepared how well we prepare ourselves, even the mining in that situation is going to change considerably, because you have to imagine you're here, you're digging around, whoop, You're digging around, and then you have all these sabroids tunneling up into your little network, and you could easily find yourself trapped. And you know, here I am going around. I have no protection. What do I have? I have a gun with no ammunition, so I'd have to just basically intimidate them with my gun, which I don't think works, so not very well anyway. So I'm going to continue with this. I'm going to mine a fair amount of this magnesium out and bring it back up. I'm going to go down further into the tunnel system, and I'm going to bring some more of that uranium up, and I will be back when I get back to base, and hopefully we will have an empty assembler with just the components we need to start building the things we want. I'm just picking up the last of this uranium. I've made 3 or 4 trips back and forwards from each vein, trying to get more of the actual resources in the stone, but I'll take the stone anyway just to stay tidy. As you can see, I've dug around here a bit, got more of the uranium. I might as well fill my inventory up. So I've got about 12,000 magnesium, and I'm not sure how much uranium this will bring me up to. And then we're going to head back to our base of operation. Right, we're nearly full there, so yeah. I won't fill myself up completely because I'll feel terrible if I leave anything behind. So as ridiculous as that sounds. So yeah, this was the magnesium ore vein. See, just dug it down deeper into it, just crouched down and done it to get in there. I like how it's turning out to be this little network of tunnels. Maybe even in the future, maybe it might even, if there is ore and stuff back towards our base, then it might even lead us back towards there with access to our base. Maybe one day. So let's see what we got. Yeah, so we got 12.5k of the magnesium. This brings us up to 7.34k. We have 5,000 of the stone. Nice. Oopsie. Alright, let's get into our cockpit. We will turn the engines on, dampeners on, unlock. We may need to move our little handy dude out the way. Yeah, in fact, really you can feel the difference where I've now got so much weight on me. That reminds me, actually, I must keep. Oh, that was close. I must keep. I was actually going to say I must keep an eye on my power levels. I've got enough for 2 hours. So I think, to be on the safe side. Did I cause any damage there? Just a hole in the floor, thank God. That just goes to show the weight of how the weight now contributes to the handling of the vehicle. There we go. So many things to remember. Was that not charging? Dampeners on. Where was it for this now? Thank God for that. Just continuously worried that I'm gonna fall over or fall off of something again, completely embarrass myself. Right guys, so I'm just gonna dock up little Stuart there, and we'll be back to see what else we can do. Again, assembler has emptied nearly everything that can be disassembled has been disassembled component wise, including components that were on the handyman up there. You can hear the refineries working away. It's currently churning through the uranium. We'll then go on to the magnesium and then the stone, and I'll put them in that order myself because obviously that's my preference as to the order I want things to be done in. Right now, first things first, what I want to do is I want to put a door, an airlock in particular, on the front of this. I'm going to need 5 of the airlock door thingamajiggies. If I go to production, assemble, I should hopefully be able to do it. Large block, and this is the bit I always hate. There it is, top left. Look at that. I have enough. That's a lot of materials there building away, so while that's doing that, I'm going to make space for it. It should, seems these blocks are able to sit in the ice like that. It should allow me to put those blocks in there as well, so I'm going to get rid of this one. 5, yeah. And they extend to 2, so I want them to come down and up. So they'll be, when open, they'll be down here at floor level, so we can drive over them. Yeah, and I'll think about sealing off the top edge of it if I have to. I probably will, just to make it look tidy. And those ramps that I just took off will go back in front of it, so we can gain access up and down and over it. We should be able, it started to still place again, so we should be able to build our first one, and get rid of some of them. Say about, there we go. That might only be our first one, I'm not sure. We will see. Just the vanilla one will do. Let me see this now. Right, so that's the way. I like it. Just to double check that. Yeah, that's the bottom. That's the top. So one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. Still place we need for that one. So let's just go for the other items and more of them if we can. Just carry as much as we can. Just for the sake of filling my inventory, so I'm not wasting trips. I don't see that little lip being a problem. I may need to gouge away some of the ice to put them down by the looks of it. Hmm. Let me see. Yep, that worked. I have no idea why that... Ah, it's that one in particular. Okay. Oh, oopsie. Oh, that's not too bad. I'll figure this little area out. It might just be that I need to... I have no idea what it is, but we'll have to figure it out when we come to actually requiring... Doesn't look like we need those. So I must have already had these still placed in. They all look like they're the right way up. Let us quickly have an extra component. Why do I have an extra component somewhere? No idea. Right. I'm pretty sure the vehicle could get up there anyway, but it's for the sake of it looking nice, we're going to build a button panel for the inside of this door. I like these ones. Maybe the side closest, the access. Might be needing any of these at present. I was standing in the way as usual. Need to create a group. There they are, 1 to 3 to 5. Just in case when we expand our base, there may be other hangar doors. That's not a spoiler, that's just a maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. That's where you name the group over there. Now we can assign that group to that button. Yeah, so number 1, just do open close. So when we T on that, right, just seeing the gaps. Yeah, so obviously that is not clever. I'm going to have to go up with normal blocks there. Take the shortcut. If I don't die in the process. And come back up here when I need to. For some reason it's not letting me place them. And now it's letting me place these. It's behaving a bit I'm happy I can place these now, but it's being a bit glitchy, the game. I haven't said anything, but up to this point it's actually been pushing buttons that I've not been pushing as well, so that is interesting. Like, I will push the G button and it will not open the G menu, it will do this function where you change your toolbar, which is odd. Maybe 2 ramps to come forward over there to remain uniform, and then on this side I can still maybe do that. No, it's placing them again. Okay, it's made its mind up now. It wants to work again, but I can't explain why it done that. So I might just bring these ramps on top, just bring them forward again, and then that makes it flush. Grand. Right, I'll be back. That's done now. You can see when it's closed, it is completely flush now. And we now have the ramp for access as well, which is awesome. So that new sound that they updated onto that makes a massive difference now, aesthetically, to the game. That's really cool. Easy in, easy out. Lovely job. Which means we are sealed from this side anyway. Eventually sensors to be placed to pick up on friendly small vehicles or ships. So we're open, and then when it's in, it will close by itself. So with that in mind, I want to put a door here and here, and what I'm going to need for that is, let's go back to our production, 2 of these. And let's see if we have enough materials. We have planetary, 2 of them, and I want 2 sensors as well, because these will be automatic doors. Like that. In the meantime, see how my refinery is getting on. Could have just done it from there, I guess. I don't know why I've done that. Still working on that uranium, but what that does mean is we have 36 now, soon to be a little bit more, which is very good. But from looking down at that uranium vein, it didn't seem extremely, you know, it's huge in any kind of way, like, you know, like most asteroids. Some asteroids could be bloody half uranium, but that just seems like a little pocket of uranium. So that's another thing we'll have to be mindful of. The resource might actually be finite, you know, finite. It's something similar to that, I'm sure. Radio communication. Oh, that's obviously for the sensor. So maybe put them back for now. Let's go for the other stuff. And detector. That makes sense, I guess, for the sensor. Right. Gonna have a McDoor here. Now, the moment of truth. Do we want the door here, flush, or do we want a little pocket there like that? I think I want... So when it's closed, it will be like that, is it? And when it's closed, it will be like that. I think I want it to be like that. Flush to this side to make this just more of a square room. I've actually never really looked properly at the first build stage. This actually looks quite cool, and I like how you can walk through the build stage as well. That's very cool. That would make for just placing it like that to having corridors, like to make it look like the place is like meshed up in some sort of way. It looks kind of cool. Anyway. Close that one. And we'll keep this one open for now, just because the continuous opening and closing of doors could become quite frustrating. And the remainder of the components for... get rid of a few hundred of them. That's all I can pick up. There. Right. Best way I see fit to do this is... we need to find somewhere to hide the sensor, but in a place where it's not going to be interfering with anything else. I think the best way to do that... see, now if this bloody stupid thing wasn't here, I could put it there on that wall, and that's initially where I wanted to put it. I guess I'm going to have to put it here for now. And let me explain this quickly. It's very simple. One sensor for each door for 2 actions. So let's get the sensor. We're going to have one there, and be aware of the orientation of it, because it matters when you're putting the settings in. And probably, see, that one's handy, we can put that one up there, out of the way. Would have been nice if we could have done that with the other one, but in there. Can I reach you? Can I reach you? What was that? No. Okay. Have to waste a bit more hydrogen to do this. I believe the one I placed first will be sensor, and the second one will be sensor 2. I believe. Let's just test that theory. If not, then it means when it's completed its build. What am I doing? I didn't have to do that. I was already on it, wasn't I? So I just need to do and see what one's highlighted. Sensor 1, yes, it's the first one you place. It doesn't necessarily have to be built. So sensor 1 is going to be associated with the first door I placed. Was this the first door I placed? The sliding door, yeah. And that's 2. So sensor 1 to door 1, sensor 2 to door 2. Just remember that. Now, what I want, when the door's closed, this is as close as I can get to it. So when I walk into this square here, I want this door to open. Okay? And then when I leave that square, or when I step into this square even, I want it to close. Because what I want is when it's closed, you'll notice that I need a square available for me to step into again, to activate it, to open it again, you see? So if the sensor is... right. What it means is that the sensor is going to cover 4 blocks. The block it's on, yeah, and all on this level, so not higher, not lower. So the block it's on, the block in front of it, and the block 1 to the right of it. But that'll be 1, 2. So that's 2 meters to the right of the sensor, 1 meter back because it's 1 meter would be the block it's on. Yeah, 1 meter back, and 1 meter and 2 meters forward, because 1 meter is the block it's on, and then 1 meter's block. So 2 forward, 2 front, 1 back, 2 right. We'll just set that up. 1 to the left means just the block it's on. So we said 2 to the right. None to the bottom, just the level it's on. None to the top, just the level it's on again. Back extent we said 1. Front extent we said 2. If I step back, right, so if I step into this square, one of those 4 squares, so let me show you. So I can't because it's not letting me. So this square, and this square, it's picking me up. Yeah, that's what we want. What we say is let's set up what it's going to pick up on. So we want it to detect players only. We only want it to detect owner, a friendly, maybe not a neutral, because neutrals can turn on you anytime, and we don't want it to detect enemies. Now, so that means it'll only activate for these 2 types of allegiance. Yeah. So we go up to the actions, and I get the door number 1. This one. Click on it, and for when you enter it, I want it to open, and when you leave it, I want it to close, like that. So when I leave this area now, it should close, and walk up to it. Should open, and I leave it. Should close, walk up to it, open. And I'm just going to repeat the same steps for the other door, except this one will have to come down a level. And it's as simple as that. And it won't have to go right or left. Grand, so I'll be back when I've done that. Now that we're done with setting up our doors, I think our base is now completely sealed off from the outside. So, and we've automated our entry into it, with the exception of the hangar door. So, stepping in here, we'll open this one. Stepping outside of that box, we'll close it. And the same for this one. And I'm quite pleased with that. I think the best way to that could become quite annoying. But as long as you're not in and out continuously, then you should be okay. Now, the workaround for this one is probably a sensor here that only covers that block backwards out to outside of the hangar. So as soon as you go past this block, it should close behind you. That's the general idea, and anything that is within, say, this distance of the hangar is going to open. It's going to open it. So let me just set this up so that we're ready to test it when we do get it up and running. Go to remote control, handbrake is on or off. It's on. Oh, we can also test going in and out. That wasn't so bad. Okay. Oh, that means we need to make another sensor. Because it can become tedious. I think it's definitely worth doing it if you're in your own build, putting sensors up for your doors, because you could be in a rush, you know, and trying to reach for those little buttons, and especially if you're like me and you have your crosshair turned off, and it could be frustrating. So, control panel, production, right, we'll do that again. So our little sensor friend is here. There you are, just the one. Now the thing is, if you wanted to set up like some sort of audio as well, like to say, oh, it's to welcome you, or to give you some sort of audible cue for when you open the doors as well, then you'd need to have an extra sensor. Unless you have the sensor set up not to trigger the doors directly, but to trigger timers, and the timers would then trigger doors and sound blocks, if you understand me. If you want to keep it simple, you'd need 2 sensors. I would do it with the timer thing, because then one sensor could effectively trigger a whole plethora of tasks that you want to be completed. But that said, right, I need to be mindful here. Why is it not? Oh, I'm above that. Right, so the top is this way, bottom is that way, left is to my right, and right is to my left, I think. Screw it, let's do it anyway. And now sensor 3 is going to control the hangar group, that group of things there. So free. One thing I suggest doing is I was turning off that proximity alert, because hearing that all the time, it's bad enough you've got to listen to the doors opening and closing and the rest of it. Detect players off. We don't want players just to walk in front and think if you want to get in through that door you need to use a vehicle to get in. That's your key. A player owned vehicle, a friendly owned vehicle. So we'll say detect small ships on. We may put large ships on as well, because you may have a vehicle made from large ship blocks that you want to get in, but this is generally going to be for small ships, this area. Detect owner on, detect friendly on, off, neutral, off, enemy, same as before. Right. Left extent, we don't need the left and right extent. Do we? Or don't we? Oh, we could. Let's see. How wide is it? 5. So if we go to 3 to the right and 3 to the left, that will cover the area of the door. The block it's on, and 2 blocks either side. So even though this is 3 and 3, which equals 6, it actually equals 5 blocks in this case, because these two are sharing the block in the middle. Bottom extent, right? Yes, that's what's going to be going out to the thing. I think 5 meters actually isn't too bad. Our vehicle may already be within that range. Top extent 0, because we want it to leave that block that the sensor's on. That's the amount of clearance it has, and as soon as it leaves that block, there's still room enough in front of the vehicle for it to get inside the hangar and not be in range of the sensor. Back extent 0, unless you want people landing on the roof to be opening up the thing. And front extent, right, how high was it up? The block it's on and 2 blocks down, so that's 3. That should do it. So we go to groups. When you enter it, we want it to open. When you leave it, we want it to close. And I'm going to tell you now, there is nothing in it. So let me quickly do this. Now hopefully I've set it up right. Oh no, we're not within 5 meters obviously. Now it should work. Do I control? No, I always do that. See, I forget that I need to control it via the remote. Right, so let's get a good view on this. Come on, this is a small ship. No? this problem is. Bottom extent. Top extent. Just, sorry, getting my bearings. I need to fix you as well. You shouldn't be out here. One, two, three is the front extent. So did I do the front extent as 3? Maybe that's where I messed up. It's only 2, so this should set it off. Bottom extent. What was 5? I obviously, I see what I've done. I've changed the wrong bloody centre. Anyway, okay. Right extent to bottom extent. 1, top extent, back extent, front extent. 2. Right. Let's go to the right sensor now. I really should pay more attention. 3, bottom is 5, so that's just fine. Top extent is 0, back extent 1. Bring up another one. There we go. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should have reached it. Now, this is properly because that wasn't fun. There we go. So we're driving around, we're having a laugh, having some fun. Oh-de-da, we've just come back from somewhere. There's the hangar. My wheels are misbehaving today. We approach it. I may need to extend that because sometimes you need a bit of a run up to get these little ramps. But, that's the general idea. Yeah, no, there's plenty. And when we pass that block, P, T, T. Who's your daddy? Yeah. Loving it. Right, so now we have our officially weatherproof build. And the sun's coming down by the looks of it. We've still got our lamp on, we do. Let's appreciate the actual lighting. Right, that is it for that part of this episode. I did want to get onto the inventory and the inventory management and a program block and putting a timer in and stuff, but it looks like I've run out of time, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to wait and do that in the next episode. But guys, as always, thanks for watching. It means a lot to me. The comments that you leave really help me out and they really inspire me to carry on, so please keep that up, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Yeah.